because that 9 to 5 scares me. Follow your dreams kind of thing. But just do what you want to do. They don't feel what you feel. They don't live your life. They don't know what you go through. They don't know your passions.
Space and business incubator, so we have people can like rent office space and stuff.
Okay.
And we've got like a podcast studio here, so we'll produce podcasts for people, and then they also have a space they can rent and do their own stuff. And one of the things that the chamber was talking about, they wanted to do a podcast maybe, and I said I got an idea where we could feature like people in Oshkosh, that are entrepreneurs or business leaders or influencers that were kind of homegrown or at least really like part of the community. And we'll do a series, and we'll call it Local Legends.
That's fun.
we had TJ Rogers on here before. We had Jack Pelton with EAA. He's like TJ's Harbor Bar. You ever been there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he owns that, but he's a tech like he's a big tech guy from Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And a billionaire. Like, so he donates things back.
Oh, I know the name now.
Yeah. He the country club, Oshkosh Country Club.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Did he end up buying Beachcomber?
Northwestern.
Beachcomber or no?
I don't know about that.
No, I think that's...
Is that some insider knowledge?
No, I think that's what's his nuts. Never will.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He did just buy the Northwestern building, though. So
Is that not in there anymore?
It's the Northwestern. I guess they're just like on a lease, and they're gonna move out. And
really?
It's just this big ass building that he's gonna do something with.
What's in there? Nothing?
Yeah, it's just nothing. There's a big warehouse in there. He's like looking for ideas to do stuff.
It's an enormous building.
Huge, dude. It's like 50,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Well, it's freaking.
Is there
sweet.
apartments in there?
No, it's just
There aren't.
office. It's just office.
There aren't on the street side here?
No.
I thought there were.
Yeah.
But the apartments run almost all the way down?
Yeah.
For the most part?
Yeah, they're like the Northwestern's like right there.
Yeah.
And then,
but I'm saying above the other businesses.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah. Yeah, we're weird. Like this used to be a title company, Schmidt Title.
Yes.
Did you buy your house
Yep.
or something here? Yeah. Dude, is one of your neighbors? Mike Highmark?
So here's the thing. I love all my neighbors. I've lived there now for 10 years. It's my grandpa's home. I know all of them by face, and they all get "What's up, man? Good to see you, pal." I know 2 of them by name. One of them lives directly across the street from me. I went to school with all of his children. Still don't know his first name. I know Butchie, who's on the corner of my house. I know him by name because of Evil Roy Slades. Literally the only reason. I think there was a Ron. News to me.
Dude, I get it though. Like the face thing is a thing.
I know all of them. If there was a different face,
and 10 seconds later, forget their name.
If it was a different, that's why I always say people come up to me on the road and say, "Hey man, I met you at so and so." I said, Vodka and concussions, man. That's what I blame it on. That's literally. I mean, that's real. It's literally real life. Like, I know faces. I don't know names. I hardly know my kid's name. Like, and I have one. I'm not gonna. Jim Smith from Horse Cave, Kentucky. Yeah. Not a chance.
Oh, this is good. I'm pumped. What's the time looking like, El?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, thanks, folks, for stopping in today. You guys, fortunately, can be the behind-the-scenes group here at the Local Legends podcast. So a little bit about the podcast. We have a very gracious sponsor today, the Oshkosh Chamber of Commerce, which is supporting a lot of different business functions. And one of the programs we're running here at the Venture Project, Local Legends, featuring a live podcast where we bring on someone from Oshkosh, a business leader, influencer, to share some different insights and strategies on how they were able to kind of achieve some of these goals that entrepreneurs set out. So today we got a very special guest. We have Dylan Postel, who's known as the WWE superstar Hornswoggle in the early 2000s, late 2000s, Wentbound, Vince McMahon's bastard son. This was a great time, man. I remember those days. You probably get this question a lot, but that's not true, right?
That I was his son?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I read the book. I was waiting to see if that was going to
The funny thing is, like, my father, so that actually happened in Green Bay at the Rush Center, and I found out at 3:30 that afternoon that was happening, and I was like, hey, I know it's super secret, but can I get like 2 more tickets? And I won't say what it's about, but I need my dad and my grandpa here for this. Because it was like going to be, I I knew it was going to be a big moment. I didn't know how big that moment was going to be. And I was like, I need my grandpa and my dad here. They got him tickets front row, and it was like the coolest thing ever. But then like the week after, 2 weeks after, my dad goes, oh, I'm going to cuss here, but I'm getting a lot of shit at the yacht club. Saying I'm not your real dad, now Vince is. He goes, I'm hoping I see some of this money that the Vince has got. And I just said, well, yep, that's literally week to week. But that's still to this day, that's like one of the most remembered things I've done. And that's, thinking about it now, that's 2007. I'm not good at math, but that's over 10 years ago and less than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle there. It's crazy to me. There are children that come up to me and go, oh, you were Vince's son. I'm like, yeah, that was before you were born.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just the outreach of professional wrestling in general. And it's pretty awesome. Like that happened before my child was born.
So you don't I don't really know a lot of the behind the scenes of how WWE works.
I don't either.
So like they just decide that day how the script's
So
going to go?
it was supposed to be another guy, and then he got himself in some hot water. I'm very thankful for it because the checks helped me out very much that he got himself in hot water. And then they literally that day they told me, like I say, at 3:30 they asked me for my cell phone because everything goes in the internet nowadays.
Yep.
And they asked me for my phone, and they kept it literally from 3:45 that afternoon, from after I texted my dad and my grandpa, I texted my dad, hey, please bring grandpa to the show tonight. I can't say what for, but there's 2 tickets. There'll be 2 tickets waiting for you. Until 10:30 that night when I got to the back.
Wow.
I literally had no contact with anyone. Just sitting under the ring from 3:45 until 10:15 p.m.
So tell people about that, because I read the book and I've seen a lot of your stuff, but part of your character in is the Hornswoggle in WWE was you would emerge from under the ring.
I lived under the ring, like a normal human thing.
So did you just when they were setting up, in the stadium, you would just go under?
So there was like 3 options. Option A was the best. Option A was before my segment on the show, they would turn the house lights off and put a video on the screen, and then all the local like hands or helpers or crew would surround me, and I would just literally with a hoodie and black sweatpants sneak out and then slip under because everyone's watching the screen. It was the best. Option B, not so great. Before the show, or like a couple times before the segment, maybe the beginning of the show or whatnot, right before the people started coming in, I would go under. Option C was literally an hour or so before the doors opened because they wanted to keep it secret. I think I counted 3 or 4 times where I was under the ring for like 7 hours. Yeah, it was the best, just the best.
What did you do under there?
I had a PSP. I did that. It was like a Game Boy. It was that. I did that. I could sleep really well, even with the matches going on. We were on a tour overseas one time, and I may have been overserved the night before and a little overtired that day. And there was a match going on, the match I was going to be involved in, and my cue came, and I'm sleeping under the ring. The apron goes up. They're calling for me to come out. There's no Dylan. I talk about it in the book where it's like, I look up, and Finley, the guy I was partnered with, we're locking eyes. He goes, hey, you coming? I go, oh, no. And it was just my time. There was 8 guys wrestling above me, and this was the end of the show. So there was another 7 matches before that happened that I don't remember hearing. That's just my life. And but I was just comfortable under there. I was really, really comfortable under there. That's something my stature has helped with. It was okay. I was fine.
Plane rides better.
Oh, but plane rides are okay.
But
like this,
back, he doesn't get that luxury.
Like this, it's just my feet dangle.
Yeah,
they just fall asleep. I had a guy a few months ago. I talked about this in my little bit of stand up I've done. He said to me, he goes, "Sir, could you not put your feet on my seat?" And I look at him and I look at my feet and I go, I don't know where you want me to put them. And they're just there. They're going to be. He goes, well, I've had kids kick my seat. That whole flight, I just pop. Mortal Kombated the son of a bitch.
He's got some moves.
Yeah.
What you talked about in, I I think what's kind of cool about your story is like you went
Everything
back-
I know.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't got a chance to check his book out, we got it over here, and go buy it because it's really inspirational in a lot of ways because you were doing this stuff in high school.
I was backyard wrestling in middle school going into high school. We were in my buddy of mine's backyard, literally behind Titan Stadium. We just had makeshift ring with mattresses and chairs and ladders, and we got on the Channel 10, the local channel. We had a real sweet time slot. It was Saturday nights going into Sunday, 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. But let me tell you, every college kid in the city knew about us because they were just partying and they would turn on Channel 10, see a bunch of kids backyard wrestling. And then we got myself and my best friend, Josh Binder, got trained when we were 17 in Green Bay. And it was in 2003. And we were that was the beginning of our senior year in high school. So we were putting up posters at Oshkosh West for our local independent shows in Green Bay. It was awesome.
And you were traveling around even in high school going to
but just the Midwest kind of. It was mainly just Wisconsin, Minneapolis, Chicago, Indiana, that kind of thing. But it was the time of our life. Like really, it was all we wanted to do. Now to this point, it's all I've known.
Well, when you told people that back when you were in, high school, that this is what you wanted to do when you grew up.
I told people that at 4 years old. And
what did they say? What was the feedback?
I don't know if they could roll their
you're
eyes
looking at
more.
Hulk Hogan era, right?
I don't know if you know this by looking at me. I'm not the typical pro wrestling build. Like I'm not 6'4". I'm not 250, thankfully. But it's one of those things where, I mean, my grandpa, man. He was always the one. Yep, he's gonna do it. Yep, he's gonna do it. And my dad believed in me and he supported me, but he was very, very smart in saying, I don't know if that's gonna pan out, Dilla. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's where you want to go. If that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I just kind of said F it the whole time, and that's what I was gonna do, whether it's supposed to happen or not.
And you talked a little bit too about how, like some of your influences, like Rey Mysterio, and some of you guys that are familiar with WWE, Rey Mysterio is known for his like acrobatics in the ring. He's got fantastic moves, and you wanted to differentiate yourself by kind of learning styles like that.
I didn't want to be trained as a midget wrestler, and I can use that word because that's me. It's fine. We don't have to. Ooh,
that's the first sentence in your book is that you're fine with people.
Yeah,
saying
literally,
that.
it's the first thing because that's how I feel. This. Oh man, gonna get me fired up. This world. If they get pissed off at the word midget and you're not one, you really need to reevaluate your life. Like, this is not something that you need to get mad about. And there's a lot of things to really get upset about. A midget, using the term midget, is not something oh, no. How dare he talk about himself? Like, no, it's just, but it's, I didn't want to be trained as that kind of wrestler. Because that's not what I watched. I watched normal wrestlers, and that's what I always wanted to do. And I think that has a lot to do with my upbringing. My parents never treated me as this. My best friends never treated me as this. The teachers never treated me as this. Like, they just treated me like a normal human being, which is something I've always seen myself as. And that's the legit honesty and truth is I don't see still to this day, I don't see myself as not a normal human. Because it's just how I've always treated myself and how others have treated myself. I didn't get bullied in high school, and I'm very, very happily surprised at that because throw me in the locker. That's great. I can fit. You can't. It's fine. Like if you try to stuff yourself in a locker, you're gonna be uncomfortable. Me, I'll sleep for two classes. Shucks. And then that didn't work. What's next? We don't got anything else. And it's just stuff like that where I was the first one to make myself the butt of the joke. Mm-hmm. So if you take that away from said bully or from said guy who's going to do that, they don't really have anything. You take their ammo away, they got nothing to shoot.
Yeah. Tell me, I'm not familiar with the process of becoming, a professional wrestler. There's a lot of training and preparation. You describe some of that goes into it, like learning the moves. Like, what all had to happen before you even got the opportunity to kind of get a break?
So I currently run a wrestling school and a wrestling company in Oshkosh, ACW Wisconsin, and our training school is literally 2 blocks. It's on the corner of 7th and Oregon. And no. Yes. Yes.
Google
Seventh in Oregon. It's a block from Slade. That's why my memory is shit. So my memory is a little cloudy because of that.
Just reference a bar.
That's literally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The school couldn't be in a worse place. It's just not good for me. But so we teach there, and how we train. When we train every week, twice a week, 3 times a week for 2-hour sessions, 3-hour sessions. I was training once a month for 3 hours before like whatever show was going on. Thinking about it now, I never got really trained to do this. I just picked up kind of fast and decently.
Yeah.
And I learned along the way. Then Josh Binder, he's so good and so much better than me at this because he did a lot more training and he learned a lot more things, and I was along for the ride. But how we run our school now, it's completely different. We start at bare minimum, and when they leave, they're TV ready. We say like they could be on big screen, and it's just a difference in outlook. I see how we were trained. It's not poorly by any means, but I see the care that we take. I mean, we call our students our kids, and it's a very awesome thing whenever they debut in our shows, our local shows, in front of 300 people. It's like we tell them from day one. We said the training sucks because it's in front of no one, and you're throwing your body on the mat in the cold. Even though our heat works, still doesn't work great, and you're throwing your body down on the mat for 3 hours a week in front of no one.
Yeah.
Now do it in front of a crowd, you forget everything, and it's just like you see them come through the curtain, and just the crowd boos or cheers them. And it's literally like seeing your child hit a home run, which I've never have yet. One of these years. But it's like seeing your child do something amazing for the first time. And it's just like, oh, this is great. And I literally just like grab Binder's shoulder like, he's doing it. He's doing really good. And then they come to the back, and it's like it's just the coolest thing ever because they literally are so thankful of the training that we gave them, but yet are just like happy because they finally did it.
Yeah.
So to go back to your original question, an hour later, it's the training process is the hardest part because it's just over and over telling your body. I tell everyone, we're not supposed to fall. When we slip on the ice out here, we try to break our fall.
Yeah.
Now you have to do that, but you have to not break your fall, but take falling down in the safe way, which is completely wrong. And your brain tells you not to do it, and especially tells you not to do it over and over and over and over. It's literally shutting your brain off.
Can you talk a little, I think one thing that when you see, WWE on TV or whatever, people don't realize how competitive it is to get to that point. Like how unbelievably challenging it is to even reach a level to that level. It's very probably harsh to say, but I've trained guys long enough now where it's real. The first thing I say to every new class is you're not getting hired by WWE. And they all kind of look at me like, oh man, that's okay. And it's not a dream crusher, but it's the truth. I can't teach someone how to get hired. This isn't football. This isn't baseball. This isn't anything like that of a sport. WWE hires people who they are looking for. They're looking for a 6'8" Australian. They're not going to hire a 5'4" Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Wisconsin? What is it? Wisconsin? Wisconsinite.
Ugh, I don't like that one.
Wisconsinian.
Wisconsin. But they're not. I said unless they're looking for you, you can't. I mean, you're not going to make it. It's not like being a star quarterback out of high school into college, star quarterback in college. It's not a draft system. It's just a hiring process that when they're looking for someone like that, they're going to hire them. And it's just, so there's nothing that we can do. You can be the best professional wrestler in Wisconsin. If they aren't looking for you, you're not going to make it there.
How did you eventually kind of break through?
Luck.
Yeah.
Being a midget, to be honest.
Yeah.
They were looking for a guy like my stature, and Mr. Kennedy, one of the guys that helped train me, he's from Green Bay, Two Rivers originally. He put his name out there for me. and he heard they were looking for a guy like me, and he goes, I got one. And he goes, he's good attitude. He can work. He's literally one of the boys. And they called me up, and I was off to the races. Literally, I didn't have a tryout, nothing. I owe my whole career to him making that call.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So when you're like, one question I always wondered, and when you're in the ring, are you like, is that all very staged, or is it somewhat improvisational?
It's kind of 50-50. It all depends on the situation. WWE is very, very, I don't even like to say choreographed. And scripted, I hate that word too. I don't know. It's written. WWE is very written for some things because it's still a television show at the end of the day. And it has to be. The cast of Friends aren't being saying, hey, here's the outline, fill in the blanks. WWE does that, but for some segments, it's more outlined than others. It's all depending on the situation.
So you got to kind of play off each other a lot
Yeah.
and things like that. That's pretty cool. I think in your book you talk about when you met Vince McMahon for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like just kind of being around some of these leaders of WWE and entrepreneurs like that, like Vince McMahon?
Man, I worked alongside of him in that Sun storyline for 6 months, and I don't think I asked him one question outside of what we were doing, and that's like one of my biggest regrets because it's the most powerful man in wrestling history. I should have just said, hey, how was Macho Man? You guys share some beers? Give me a good Macho Man drunk story. And he would have. Like, he's just open like that. He doesn't care. But it's stuff like that where I wish I would have come out of my shell a little more, and just for my own, essentially for the book, to get more ratings from the book.
Right, yeah.
But
obviously.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that where it's
What was he like as a person?
awesome. He's like any boss. Legitimately, I say it all the time. He's like any boss. You do what your boss asks, and you're golden. If the boss at Target tells you to work the pet department and you want, nope, I'm working toys today, well, you're not a good employee. It's very simple. Vince wants you to do this. If you do that, awesome. Do it in your own way, but still accomplish the goal at hand. That's all he wants.
What was like one of the wildest things when you were like on tour kind of doing all this? Like, what's like something that just stands out as this is crazy?
We got stuck in Ireland. There was a volcano.
That's fitting.
Yeah, shocking. We got stuck in Ireland, and there was a volcano in Iceland or Greenland or one of the lands. They all kind of run together at this point. But it literally grounded all travel for like 6 or 7 days. So we were stuck. And it couldn't have been a better place to be stuck because that hotel bar, made their year salary off of us in that staying there. But it's like, it was just one of the fun weeks because we didn't know when we were getting home, if we were getting home, any of that. So like one night we're like, oh, we're going to go bowling. So we just, all the group of these wrestlers, from myself to John Cena to Mark Henry and everything in between, just went bowling together. And it was such a cool thing looking back at it because we never ever do that kind of thing. We never did. But we made the best out of such a situation. And it was such a fun, like, camaraderie thing that we would have never experienced ever unless we were stuck somewhere. It was a really, really neat thing. Like, the most athletic guys were the worst bowlers ever. And it's just funny to see kind of us breaking our shells for the night. And it was something like that really stands out to me. We had a toga party one night. Where it was literally, everyone's like, we're having a toga night. And we just took everyone's bed sheets and just made togas. It ended very, very fun.
That a WWE group of people in a toga
party, yeah,
sounds insane.
Yeah.
Do you like do moves like in the
no,
room, like throwing people on
nope,
beds
because my toga was not tied enough. That's for sure. Yep.
Do you still stay in touch with any of those guys?
Yeah, I a bunch of them are still best friends to this day. The forward is written by one of the forwards is written by Kofi Kingston, who's still with WWE, one of the most tenured guys in that company in history. And I talk to him. If I don't talk to him in a day, we know something's wrong with one of the sides. And it's just one of those things where these are buddies. Like, these are legit friends. I always say there's a lot of acquaintances in wrestling, a lot of acquaintances, but actual friends is very few and that's okay. But because I'm very, very happy with those few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did the WWE scene kind of wind down for you?
I was released in May of 2016. It was 2 weeks before 10 years being there. And the crazy thing is, they told me when I got hired, they said it's going to be 6 months. And then that's all this is going to be panning out. So 2 weeks under 10 years later is pretty awesome. I was tenured longer at that time than a lot of main WWE acts. But they released me in 2016. They called me that day, and I was smart enough to independent wrestling and wrestling in general. I knew I had to hit the ground running, and within an hour, thanks to Brian Myers, Kurt Hawkins, another wrestler there, he was released at the time. He goes, "Hey, give me an hour, I'll get you some dates. I'll call you back." 20 minutes, he had me 13 dates. And it was just, here we go. And I was still running ACW shows, I was about 2 years into ACW shows at the time. So we had a show that night up at Tanner's. And it's kind of crazy is I got to appear the day I got fired on a show. And I was like, I said to my buddies who run it with me, I said, guys, I think I have to. I'd never put myself out there, but this is kind of big. The same day I get fired, I appear on our own show. And they were like, of course, you're doing this. So literally the same day I got fired, I appeared on a show.
So tell me how you kind of started, when you go into the entrepreneurial scene, when you kind of started to start your own businesses, when you started to kind of branch out yourself.
Yeah, it was because I was off the road with WWE. The writers didn't have anything for me. This was in 2013. I was just off the road for a bit, and I said to my business
There's no
partners,
conflict of interest or anything with doing independent?
what they don't know doesn't hurt them. I don't think they have their sights set on Oshkosh, Wisconsin, thankfully.
You were worried this is taking over the market.
I'm not taking over that Wisconsin market, but it's okay. We're doing all right. So I said, guys, I'm bored. I want to run a show. And they go, nope. I said, I'm running a show. I said, I would love you guys to be part of this. We can do it. And we ran our first show. It was at Timbuktu, which isn't around anymore. No, it is around, but the venue isn't, I don't think. It burned. And we had 125 people in probably a 75 capacity venue. And it was awesome. And then that night, the next morning, I said, hey, guys, I want to run another one. And now we just had our 8th year anniversary last year. So it's going very well. We went from 120 that night to running the arena twice, running the convention center once, running Sunnyview once, and everything in between.
What goes into the promotional side of that?
Too much.
Way
too much.
Where do you even start?
Again, knowing independent wrestling and local wrestling in general, as I do or as I did and have, I know it's just getting a roster of guys, and it's our guys are all local.
So you focus talent
literally
first.
From Milwaukee to Green Bay. That's our talent pool, and especially I would say 95% of them are Fox Valley, our talent pool. And so it's just getting a good group that believes in your product and believes in what you're doing, that wants to share it. Commercial ads are dead, and I've realized that, especially the last few years. Commercial ads are dead. Sadly, radio ads are becoming a dying breed. It's social media now. Social media is the new advertising market, and it's just that's what we do. We share this on Facebook, and that's what we realize.
So a lot of just organic social media.
Literally organic social media. For our big shows, we'll buy out ad space on social media, but we didn't see a huge influx when we would do TV or radio ads. So we focus mainly on social media because that's the new. Let's be honest, if we weren't watching this or listening to this, we'd be scrolling our phones. And if we are listening to this, I bet you we're still scrolling our phones.
People are still probably just
literally, yeah, man. It's that's the world we live in, and it's not a positive or a negative. It's society. It's what we do nowadays.
Do you think there's ever going to be a point in the future you go back into WWE?
I did a spot a couple years ago. They had a show in Saudi Arabia, and they called me up. They said, hey, we got to sell out this place. We need the little guy. It's not what they said at all. But that in my mind, that's what their mindset was, to make myself feel better. So it was. I did that, and I still have a great relationship with everyone there. It's something. Again, my dad has taught me a lot of awesome lessons. He's pretty much the greatest human being on the planet, and he's taught me a lot of awesome lessons. Being just don't ever burn the bridge, because you never know when or if they're going to call. And if they think about calling, you don't want them to be like, he's a real piece of work. Like, we don't want to call him. And guess what? I did that appearance, and it hit the reset button on my career, added more memories for kids and adults alike, and people still talk about it. And it's just something, again, I can put in my cap. And if they call tomorrow and want me for another thing, great, awesome. If they don't, that's awesome too, because I'm running ACW, I'm running the school, I'm still traveling 3 days a week all around the country and the world when it opens back up big time. And that's okay. And I was thinking about it the other day. This is like the most calm and like okay things have been career-wise, and it's very, very awesome. Like, everything is in its place, and I'm very, very happy with what we're doing in Oshkosh with ACW, because it's just like we did a toy drive at our 8th year anniversary show 2 weeks ago, and when we counted up all the toys, we had over 350 toys, donated toys for tots from our fan base, and then when we dropped them off, they were just so happy because they go, it's been down so much this year. This is awesome. And it makes us feel good, because it's one of those things where we know we're doing really, really cool things in town with wrestling. When we get to branch out and do that kind of thing, it's really, really awesome for us. Any of these fundraisers we do are just incredible in the space we have.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I shouldn't say I was surprised, but there's a lot of kind of nostalgia in your book about some of the memoirs of your childhood and as a teen, of just things that are going on around Oshkosh. You call out places by name, you like locations, always. Like people that you just, this is crazy.
This is my city. I really say, like, this is my city. I hold this city. I mention Oshkosh in every interview I do, and I've always made it a point. If you find an interview where I don't mention Oshkosh, something was edited out. And that's a real statement, because this city really does mean the world to me. And it's just home. Literally, I say I love it because I'm 2 minutes from my parents. I'm a minute from Target. I'm 6 minutes and probably 32 seconds from my local establishment. Not that I know the exact time or not. But it's stuff like that where this city has everything I need. Everything I need. And my family and my friends are here. It's just, I enjoy it. I enjoy everything about this city. And it really holds a special place in my heart. And it's like, it's fun memories. Like doing a bike ride with my son, or just driving around town. He likes going on drives on my tricycle, my trike, motorcycle. He likes going on drives with that. And we just go, I literally just show him, hey, this is where this happened. This is what this was. This is what, and he just likes that. And he's realizing more and more about the city, which is awesome, because I really care about it.
Well, something that I think is really impressive about you is, in your book, you've got photos with you and, Donald Trump. You've got photos with you and actors.
Dude, I don't know if we should talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll piss some people off, I'm sure. But, then you got photos with all these different, celebrities, influencers all around. But you're so grounded. I mean, when I asked you to come on this show, you're just like, yeah, just text me, man. You come in, you introduce yourself to everybody. You're just so grounded. And I think, and TJ Rogers, when he was on this podcast, talked about this Midwest values and how that really never leaves you when you get out of here. And it seems like how you instill a lot of your values.
Man, at the end of the day, I got fired in 2016. If I woke up tomorrow not being able to be a pro wrestler ever again, I'm Dylan from Oshkosh.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to just be Dylan from Oshkosh. This is all amazing. Everything I do, everything, the movies, the books, the boxing stuff, the wrestling stuff, the all of this is amazing. But that all goes away. That's all done and over with at some point. I'm still going to be Dylan from Oshkosh, and I'm okay with that. My kid's pretty awesome. That's what I need to focus on. My family's great. My friends are awesome. This city is great. That's what I need to realize. And it when I was first hired by WWE, I was 19 years old, turning 20. I was a child, literally a child. I was on 2 airplane flights in my life at that point. It took over my mindset, like any young adult. It would. The ego got a little big, and I got big for my britches, and it took a couple talk down, like, hey, you're being an ass.
Yeah.
Great. That's all it took, and it made me realize, again, like I do today, when I get fired, I'm Dylan from Oshkosh. Just be that and just be okay with that. And I am. I'm okay with that, and I'm more than okay with that. That's all I want to be anymore. And I think that's why I do have the mindset I do. Even when I go to shows around the country, it's just, this is so fun to me. It's so fun to me to be able to travel for work. Literally, it's my job. But also, I think about it, I work for 30 seconds. Literally, I'm in the ring for maybe 3 minutes at a time.
Or 7 hours, depending on...
That's sleeping. I'm sleeping during that. But then it's like, people are asking me to sign my name. That doesn't happen to many people. So this is pretty awesome. So to have the mindset of, like, I'm just very, very, I hate the word thankful, but I guess I'm just lucky to still be able to do it. And so I just think about that all the time.
You know, you talked about your dad as being a big mentor in your life. You know, what were some of those things that he taught you that have kind of stuck with you, that moved, you into new levels in your career and things like that?
I think the biggest one was don't burn bridges. He was really, really big on that, because you never know when that person is going to call again, or when you're going to meet up with that person again. Raising my kid, like, he is just doing how he treated me growing up and dealing with things now. There's not a day that goes by where I don't text him, now I know what you dealt with, in reference to what Lana's doing or how he's acting, positive or negative. And it's just like stuff like that where it's just, my dad has always been such a positive influence on me in little ways. And he was never, ever like a stern, hard ass, like that kind of parent. He let me live. He let me mess up and then would say, hey, this is what happened and this is what you should have done, kind of thing. But he was never a yeller. I put him through hell. Like, I was a horrible student. I didn't
in the
care.
book, it sounded like he didn't totally support the wrestling right off the bat.
No,
right?
and he supported me.
He supported you,
but he didn't support the wrestling
you
because
told the story of the sliding the razor blades under the ring.
So I in backyard wrestling or wrestling in general, when you have to bleed, you cut yourself. That's a real thing.
It's the purest.
It's just the way to do it. And he found out I did said thing, and I think that's the only time he's ever been real mad at me with wrestling, is when he found out I was backyard wrestling and using Target razor blades to cut myself. And he just goes, that's so stupid. And then but it wasn't even a yelling at that point. He goes, it's just dumb. A dumb thing to do. And I was a 17-year-old kid.
Do they do that in WWE still?
Not anymore, because it's a PG era,
Oh, yeah,
can't bleed anymore. No. Coca-Cola will pull that sponsorship right away.
Yeah, any blood.
Yeah. You're not going to be... Nickelodeon will not let you bleed on their channel.
Yeah.
But I always say he's always been very supportive of me. But again, I shouldn't have made it. I should never have been hired by WWE. I should never have been doing any of this. With my back issues and my history of surgeries and stuff like that, along with my stature, I shouldn't have been able to do this. But he's always been extremely proud, obviously, as any dad would or should be. He's always been extremely supportive of that. And when I got hired, he was the first one I called. And I told him, and he goes, all right, well, what are you thinking? And I just said, I still am going to do this. He goes, great. And he was one of the ones that said, hit the ground running. He goes, I know you can do this. I know you can still do this. And he's been literally with me every step of the way. ACW, going back to ACW stuff, he does all of our airport runs. Whenever we have a guest come in, he picks them up, at 5 a.m. from the hotel, drives him to the airport. He'll pick a guest up at the airport at 11 o'clock at night, drive him back to Oshkosh. He's always...
It's a family business now.
That's literally a family business. My son sells my merchandise, A, because he likes to support me, but B, also because he gets a cut of it. And I've realized this. That cut needs to go lower and lower.
Some merchandise.
He's an entrepreneur at 11 years old, and I don't know if I like that yet or not. He goes, Dad, I sold 11 T-shirts today, and that's $11 because I get $1 a shirt, but I also sold a hat, but I sold this, and I'm going, you're literally pushing merchandise. And he realizes that when a lady comes up to the table and wants something, or even just looks at the table, he goes, can I get you something, ma'am? And you can't tell an 11-year-old no. I've realized this, and that's why I have him sell my things. And I let him do his thing, but also in the back of my mind, he knows he's making his cut.
Yeah.
He's way too smart.
Well, I think something that's really inspirational about you is you had every reason to not be able to make it as a professional wrestler, right? You know, you talk about, you know, your medical condition, you talk about your surgeries as a child, and then here you're going into contact sport with people that are 6'9", you know, all around the country, and this is your goal, but you never gave up on that. You never quit. You never stopped.
Yeah, it's I was 4 years old, 6 years old. I always forget, but I had major back surgery. The first one I had paralyzed me for 6 months, and then they flew me to Minneapolis to fix that. And the first thing he says is no trampolines and no contact sports. I didn't listen, obviously.
Clearly, yeah.
And I still don't listen. And that was one of the things that my dad always kind of worried about. Literally, the one wrong hit to my lower spine, I'm not feeling my legs anymore, and that's a real thing. I just had to have back surgery again in August. Try to fix it. I feel okay. My mom and dad went with me to the back surgeon, and they go, and my mom goes, this means he's probably done, right? And the doctor goes, I mean, he hasn't listened to doctors his whole life. I don't think he's going to listen to me at this point. She goes, damn it. So, and I'm still doing it, obviously, because I don't listen. But it's because, again, I think I've never wanted to view myself as poor me. Mm-hmm. As, man, if I don't have a cast on, I can do this. I can still move around. If I can move around, I can wrestle. That's always been my mindset. And it's always, sadly, I think it's always going to be, because that 9 to 5 scares me. That 9 to 5 really scares me. I loved Target. I loved working there. Man, going back to that, I'm ready to do it when time is right. I don't know when time will be right, though. That's a sad thing.
Well, that's pretty incredible. And I think, that's really inspirational for a lot of people out there, I think, that have their own personal limitations in their life, and then seeing someone like you go through every reason to not succeed and still find ways to stay consistent, to stay determined and finish.
And it's like I've always had the follow your dreams kind of thing, but just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, don't let someone tell you no. Literally, who cares? They don't feel what you feel. They don't live your life. They don't know what you go through. They don't know your passions. Do what you want to do. The follow your dreams thing is very cliche to me, and it's right, but also, like, it's more than that. It really, really is. If someone tells you no, and you think yes, screw them. Like, for real, who cares? It's what you want to do. It's what it's kind of simple to me. It's very, very simple to me, and that might not be the best answer for a lot of situations, but I think it should be.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you before we open up for some questions from folks here, just a little bit about ACW and what you've got going on right here in Oshkosh, because you alluded to it a little bit, but I want to give you a chance to kind of explain it a little more.
ACW Wisconsin is a independent wrestling company that myself, Josh Binder, and Josh Weimer started. Literally 3 best friends. Josh Binder I've known since 2000. No, I've known him since 3rd grade. That's Jesus. That just hit me again. Like, wow, it's been. Oh, stop dating myself, making me feel old. That's my job.
You put your birthday in the book.
I did. That's the sad part.
So identity theft is
Social Security number's hidden in there too, I'm sure. There's gonna be credit cards in like Afghanistan under my name.
Right.
But we started the company again because I was bored and I wanted to run a wrestling company and a wrestling show. And we ran our first, and then we ran our second, and then we ran over and over and over, and we ran our first big one at Sunnyview, and then we ran 2 at the arena, and we just ran like even during a pandemic, and it was frowned upon by some fans, but also our mindset was, listen, this pandemic really sucks. Everyone's in their house, pissed off. All of this. Let's give them something to smile about under a mask, but let's give them something to leave their house for. We run every month at the Masonic Center, and we ran during a pandemic, but we ran it socially distanced, required masks, required temp checks, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And we had so many people afterwards go, this was the best 2 hours I've had this week. And then we ran another one during pandemic, and it was the same thing. And people were very mad at us. How could you do this during such a big goings on? And I agree. And it wasn't us thinking we don't care about the health or the safety or the wellness of any of our fans or our wrestlers. No, it was we want to give people an escape. Mm-hmm. Sometimes life really, really sucks. So if one Friday a month you can come enjoy wrestling, have a drink, enjoy it with your kid, and just get away from everything. We always say when you come in that door, our goal is to make you forget about real life for 2 hours and just come into our world. And our world is really, really awesome. Our world has a lot of things going on, and it's really, really cool. And so we just made our schedule for 2022, and we opened up season tickets. It's something I had the thought of doing a couple years ago because we have some crazy, crazy supportive fans. And I was like, let's just do season tickets. If they want to support us, they can. We have sold out the last 3 years, front row season tickets within 2 hours. Wow. It's incredible. Yeah. And that's the fan base we have. And then we'll sell GA season tickets and second row season tickets. But it's just the fan base we have that whether they're going to be at the shows or not.
Get a Venture Project box.
Fine by me.
That'd be awesome.
I know a guy that can help you with that. But whether they're at the shows or not, they're still supporting us for the whole year. And that means a lot to us. That means that we're doing something that they really care about. The toy drive is something we've done. We've done so many charity events and shows, and our sponsors are all local sponsors that we then, like I literally just talked to the guy at Rev's Bowling Alley, and they've sponsored us for a year now. And I just said, hey, we're going to have our holiday party at your bowling alley on a Sunday. He goes, we don't open on Sundays. I said, can you open on Sunday? He goes, yep. Because he knows it's going to be 20 to 25 wrestlers bowling, eating, drinking, having a good time.
From the Ireland situation was a good
I'm not
deal.
really from friggin' Ireland, man. I'm from Oshkosh. We talked about this. He said, you said from the Ireland situation.
Ireland
I thought
story,
you were,
yeah.
Man, I get
You're not actually Irish, huh?
Every
really
day
buzzkill,
of
man.
my life. Someone goes, oh, you talk normal for being from Ireland.
Yeah, where's the accent, dude? I was really expecting.
And then I'm thinking, if you met Tom Cruise, you'd say, oh, you're not really a toy cowboy.
Hey, you don't really fly a jet? You
No.
know?
How did... It's wrestling fans, man. But they're the best.
Tom Hanks was the cowboy. Tom Cruise was Top Gun, Maverick.
I don't know movies.
You were in like 2 movies, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's not a big deal or anything. Author, boxing.
Did you play Leprechaun in the movie?
I did, yeah. And that didn't go well.
Irish,
I get it, okay? I'm not from Oshkosh. Man, but I will say, St. Patty's Day comes around, it is the biggest money-making weekend for this guy. I am bartending, I am wrestling, I'm signing everything.
Yeah, you are.
Everything. Dublin's. Need a guest bartender? Hit this guy up. Yep, that's me.
Dude, we should approach McDonald's with a Shamrock Shake endorsement, maybe. We could probably...
I think that's a little above me.
Oh, no. No, we'll get there. I know a guy.
Mahoney's. Maybe Mahoney's can do Shamrock Shake.
Well, now it's going to be Parker John's.
Hell yes, it is. Hell yes. I am so excited. Where were we?
Something about ACW.
ACW.
Yeah.
Guys, check us out, though, for real. ACWWisconsin.com. We literally have 10 shows in 12 months. and then we have our Water City Wrestling Con show in May at the convention center. Again, last year we did it kind of during the craziness, and we still socially distanced 1,000 people in that place.
Wow.
And it was awesome. And we required masks. Who knows what this year is going to bring? Hopefully we can open it up. But it's just we're doing some really, really fun things, and it all comes down to still being local.
Yeah.
We do a couple shows at Tanner's and Kimberly. We do Fond du Lac here and there, or Menashe here and there. But this is our home base. This is our home.
Something about like independent wrestling is kind of like, indie music. It's like
very punk rock.
Yeah,
I've always been a punk rock fan, and I've always wanted to keep our shows very punk rock feeling.
Yeah.
And that's what
there's
they
like
are.
An organic, region to it, and there's a flavor to it.
Thinking, yeah, and then that's the thanks for our fans. Like, I know the day one fans, and they're still at every show. And if they miss one, we know something is happening. And then I reach out to them that Saturday morning. Hey, man, everything okay? Yep, just dealing with it. Oh, great. I'll see you next one. Awesome. But going from 120 to 300 normally every month to over 2,000 at our WrestlingCon events is a pretty big deal to us because, again, we still are Oshkosh. I mean, there's not 2,000 wrestling fans in Oshkosh. So we had a lot of fly-ins. People fly in for our shows.
Wow.
It's incredible. It's absolutely crazy. And, yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We really, really are having a lot of fun with ACW Wisconsin, and it's just keeps growing, and it's become an actual business.
Yeah.
I spend more hours a week on that than I do on my own stuff, but I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it.
I think that's really cool. I think that's a great way where we can kind of support as a community. We got a mic here for folks if they have a question. Is this one on? There we go. So if you guys got a question to ask Dylan, this is the time. And you can ask him anything, right, Dylan? Or do you have like boundaries?
I'm an open book like the one I wrote.
That's
See,
right.
available on Amazon.com.
We got anything in the audience for Dylan? Yeah, let's get Steve on the mic here. Make sure you say it into the mic too, so that we can get this in post.
That means after.
Yeah. So after the production.
Yep.
Yeah.
You referred a little bit to that feeling of like being a dad watching your kid hit a home run when they walk out to the cheers.
Yeah.
I had a question. When you have a kid who's a heel and they get a bunch of boos, is it kind of the same thing?
It's the absolute best. And like when a heel is a bad guy. So when I have one of our students right now, he is the biggest bad guy on our roster, and he's from our school, and literally from his first match, he was booed more than any person on the show. And he gets to the back, and man, I was just ear to ear grinning. And then the next morning I go, I think we're onto something. And I said, I didn't know. I mean, I like jokingly go, I've hated you for a long time. I didn't think everyone else would. And he goes, thanks, Dad. And it's just like literally that kind of relationship where, like, because Binder and I run the school, and I always say, there's two dads here. There's that one, the really, really nice one, and I'm always like the bully dad.
The bad cop.
Yeah, I'm the bad cop. He's the mom of the team, and I'm the dad. And he's the nurturer. Oh, they're going to do okay. No, they suck. They suck. They didn't do well. Oh, they did okay. But it's, yeah, for them to get any reaction, positive or negative, as long as what they're going for is what they get, it's really, really awesome.
As a follow-up, are there people who like being heels, enjoy that kind of working the crowd up?
Yeah, because you can yell at people and it's okay. You can get paid to yell at people.
Relief,
you can literally get paid to yell at people and not have them like be on your side. It's the coolest thing ever.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was this building? It was a
it's a title company.
Title company.
Yeah, it used to be Schmidt Title Company. They
I
moved
thought
across the street.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When
They're closing on a house right now.
No, I thought I was going into an apartment because I thought this building was that one, and I go, "Are we recording in someone's apartment?"
You never done a podcast in someone's apartment before?
We don't need to talk about that. Listen, what I do with my time and how I get paid, don't worry about that, all right?
Yeah, we actually got a full-blown studio in the back. But
This is an incredible
This
building.
seats more people out here, so.
This is awesome.
We got any other questions for any folks in the back? I know we got some WWE fans in the house. Kyle, we talked to him, put you on the spot, man.
Kyle
over here. He's
Kyle,
such
Kyle just turned instantly red-faced.
Yeah. You should have seen him at the Packer game last night.
Kyle just got thrown under the bus there.
Red-faced there as well.
Yeah, three of us went to the Packer game last night. And,
how are you here?
Really escaped us.
How are you?
I don't know. I got a bottle of water. That's about the only way I'm staying alive.
Third one of the day?
No, this is the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. I should have started earlier, but yeah.
Kyle, you got anything?
I got nothing.
You're a real son of a bee.
Yeah. Wish I had more for you.
Well, do you have any, if we don't have any other questions,
yeah.
I was just going to say, we got, a lot of people listen to this are entrepreneurs or business leaders. What's, just your general advice that you would say, do this if you want to be successful?
Again, like I say, don't let someone tell you no. Legitimately, don't let someone tell you that it's not going to work. Take a chance. Throw some money into it. If it starts to fail, throw a little bit more. And if you don't see it going anywhere, that's your choice. It's literally your choice. It's up to you. The minute you tell someone no, you don't believe in that dream or that vision enough. Just keep believing it. That's all. If you truly feel for it, it's easy. It's really easy.
Yeah.
And that's just it. It's whatever you want to make it. If you want to be, I always say set small goals to our students and to everyone. Set small goals. If you're starting a business and you're going, I'm going to be the next Steve Jobs, that's pretty big. How about, make little goals to lead up to that? I always tell our students, don't say I want to be on WrestleMania, because that's a very big one. And if 5 years from now you haven't achieved that goal, you kind of feel like a schmuck. But if you set little goals and you achieve them, it feels really, really good. It feels awesome to achieve goals. So the more little ones you achieve, the better you feel. And make them bigger as you go.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And that's why we have on the wall right here, at Bloom Where You're Planted. It's like, start here. Start with some traction you can get going.
Is that real plants?
Yeah. That's actually some moss we found at Hobby Lobby. And hot glue and hairspray.
There's no chance you did that.
No way.
No.
Absolutely.
It looks real nice. And
my wife is way more crafty than I am. And she only did about 5 of them, and then a friend of ours did the rest.
Did you do the black parts even?
No.
What did you do to that?
I did nothing
in
this place. I just supervised.
You literally show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, tweak it, and then go back.
What are these maps? These are pretty awesome.
Yeah,
hey, you know what I want?
I'm in.
There's a map. I just want a map. Is there a map of my block, you think? Of the 6th Street that I grew up in?
You might be able to find it on there.
That would be, that's what something, I want an old map of this town. From when I was growing up. I don't know where to find one. Someone tell me where to find maps by year of this city.
We can get you. The library has them too.
Think.
Yeah,
if you think I love local, I support local. I really, really do. I don't step into the library because I get real intimidated. Yeah. There's a lot of books in there.
Yeah, it's hard.
Real big words. But a lot of them.
As an author, you should kind of tell people, maybe check my book out at the library.
I did. Amazon.com.
Oh, yeah.
Comes right to my wallet.
That's right.
Library buys it from Amazon. I don't get a cut of Jim Smith renting it from the library.
Don't go to the library.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I never would say that. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, you could definitely do it. I think the Howard actually did that with their big map of Wisconsin, is they found something at the library and then they were able to buy the rights to it somehow. And
I have to pay for the rights to print this?
Yeah, dude, this is a big deal. I don't know.
I want to hang this on my wall. I don't want to sell this damn thing.
It doesn't matter, dude. The world of NFTs and all this stuff now.
I don't know what that is.
Just wait. You just wait, folks. You don't know what NFTs are yet. Go
is that the thing where people buy it on the website?
This is this Meta. The Facebook
Let's
thing.
go back to the library.
3D internet.
This is way more confusing. This is way more confusing than the library. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you'll be doing wrestling shows in the Meta soon with virtual reality.
What that is.
Come on, dude. You can get ahead of it.
I don't know.
We got an idea now.
I don't know. I don't even like recording our shows. This is. Oof.
We're really getting off topic.
Yep.
But I think
support the library.
Support local library.
Support local library. Support Visit Oshkosh. Support the Venture Project. Support Jerry's Barbershop. See, that's a pull.
Yeah.
Jerry's barbershop is still a thing.
Yeah, you know, You Are Next that was next to it. Actually, we bought that a long time ago and made.
Oh, so you put him out of business.
Yeah.
Really supporting local.
He fell down the stairs, actually.
Ooh,
Yeah.
got real dark there.
Yeah. He's good. He's fine.
Okay, okay.
But that was the exit. Yeah.
That's the exit.
Yeah.
I mean,
He fell down the stairs. His wife made him sell the business.
that was his exit, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Sometimes.
You got real dark right there.
The good news is the business is doing great. And we've been chamber members for 5 years. So.
Oh, great. It's really good that he fell down the stairs,
Yeah.
you're saying. That's what you're saying.
We'll find the map. Come see us at the
The
chamber.
chamber the whole time.
So I don't have to go to the library?
Gosh, we just.
Hell yes!
Why didn't you say something?
Yes!
Rob? We just talked around for about 5 minutes trying to figure out. Yeah, well, let us. Yeah. This is great. Hey, Dylan, man, this was absolutely phenomenal. Where can people find out more about you?
Find ACW Wisconsin at acwwisconsin.com or on Facebook.com/ACW Wisconsin. I don't have a website. I have a merch site. It's just dylanpostel.com. Autographs, 8x10s, books, personally autographed books.
Yeah.
Don't even get those on Amazon. Everything. Otherwise, just at Dylan Postel, because I was at WWE Hornswoggle until they released me, and then I go, oh, I can't do this
Yeah,
anymore.
the naming rights.
Yeah, they can't copyright my name. So I'm literally just at Dylan Postel on every form of social media. Otherwise, you can probably find me at Evil Roy Slade's between noon and 8 o'clock. Usually Tuesday to Saturday. Sunday from noon to 3.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Well, could we give a big round of applause to our...
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Dylan. Appreciate it. We got some food over here. If you guys haven't grabbed a bite to eat yet, we got some Roxy meatballs for you. So make sure
Support
you
the Roxy.
snag a couple of those. Dylan's a big Roxy fan,
I
too.
love the Roxy. Eggs, they're real good eggs, Benny.
They are great.
Real good
I've had
eggs,
that
Benny,
before.
there, yeah.
Have you done the brunch challenge? You got to ask Ryan about it.
Nope.
There's like a brunch challenge. You have to eat a whole bunch of eggs
Nope.
and hash browns, all this stuff. And if you
Nope.
can do it, you get it free.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Bubble guts, and you get that for free too, huh? No, I don't want to do that challenge at all.
It's a challenge that sticks with you. For
Not
at least
me.
24 hours.
It ain't sticking with me long. You just got that one, didn't you? That was a poop joke, sorry.
I love it.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody.